We're live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's been 10 months since the last Crimson and Blue Chips. As you can see, the backgrounds have changed for both producer Kevin and I, but we are thrilled to be able to come back. As to why, who, what, when, where, all those things, I'm sure we're going to get to that later in the show, perhaps. Of course, right now, the fresh, brand new first edition of the College Football Playoff rankings are actually being released. So we're going to react to that first, and then we'll spur it into questions. We got a ton of them on Twitter today. You guys still follow us. Thank you for that. Our subscribers, obviously, all you guys, we really appreciate you. And hopefully this is something we can continue. But we're going to hang out here for a minute and play a little bit of catch up. We're going to tweet out the links to this live stream. Google flipped the script on us, so we wanted to be live earlier, but they changed everything that we used.
We're not friends. Me and Google aren't friends right now.
Exactly. So once the live link is tweeted and retweeted, all that stuff, I'll retweet it on my phone. If I see it, we'll have more people in here. We'll be hanging out. And it'll be kind of like old times, which is pretty much what we're going for.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still looking for this. Please, bear with us with this one because I'm looking for this this link to tweet for you guys. It seems like a lot of you have already kind of made your way in and found us anyway.
If anybody's on here already, please in the live comments let us know.
Does it look? Does everything look okay? Is it?
Yeah. How does the audio sound? Video, picture, besides our ugly mugs, but
because this is they're completely new. It's completely new to everybody. Google and YouTube decided they wanted to change things, and
shout out to Mike who says "about time."
Yeah, it is about time.
About time we bought something. We didn't buy it.
Yeah, it says you guys sound great. Audio is great.
Okay.
So I guess we're I guess that's good. Doing all right. So
this was
all right. Well, obviously there's a lot to get to this weekend and recruiting, and we've had some transfer portal stuff go on and all that good stuff.
Pretty much everything going on.
Yeah, so I mean, we got 10 months worth of stuff we could cover, really, but video's clear.
Checking our YouTube, and yeah, we're live. There we are. So,
all right,
our subscribers didn't unsubscribe either. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, we've only lost one subscriber in the last 28 days. So.
Yeah, that means you guys are extremely loyal and/or lazy, which we appreciate either way. So are we, right?
Absolutely. That's why we haven't been here for 10 months, pretty much.
Where do we start? Because when you do a show for 4 years straight and then you take 10 months off, where should you begin? Because obviously people got questions.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everybody wants to know, I guess, where we've been for the last. I don't even know, when was our last show? January, the national championship, and then we got a lot.
Yeah,
people were big mad at that. Yeah, people were big mad at that. So
we're done. No, that wasn't the plan, obviously. But there are personal matters, there are professional matters, there are all interwoven in between. Long story short, we couldn't bring you the pod as much as we wanted to, even at that point, and we got some friction from there on out based on some professional situations. So we've been trying to navigate that diligently, and we have found what I would call a solution. And more about that will be clear later. But let's just say that the chances of CABC returning full force are higher than they've been literally since December. So this is the best chance we've had in 2019 to not only bring it back, but bring it back the right way. We've obviously found a new way to stream, which took the last hour behind the scenes. And obviously we'll be back on iTunes and SoundCloud, the whole deal. Obviously, you guys were on Twitter today asking questions, which we're humbled by. And trust me, like we're just as excited to be back as hopefully you are to have us back. And we figured tonight would be a pretty good time. Pretty big game this week, huh, Kev?
Yeah, I mean, you got probably the biggest game of the last for a decade, maybe. You got 1 versus 2. How about go ahead and jump off a cliff to the broadcast companies for just not making this a primetime game? So
Just awful. How is this not 8 o'clock? Just
yeah, I mean, it's prime setup, 8 o'clock.
After a hearty day of college football. I mean, I don't blame CBS because that's 2:30 Central is that's their time slot. That is prime time for them. But CBS would have been more than happy to kick it to a later time if everybody was ready. And before we really dig into it, man, for those of you going to the game, God bless you, because game day will be there, STC Nation will be there, President Trump will be there. The traffic, I can imagine. I mean, it's number 1 versus number 2 already, and all of that is added to it. So traffic, logistics, communication, all of that, just good luck to you. Get there at dawn is what I would say, because
yeah, I mean, there's no. To me, there's no reason there should be a 3 o'clock kickoff or 2:30 or whatever. Whenever they're kicking, it should be an 8 o'clock kickoff, prime time. Game day is going to be there. How's game? I don't think I've ever seen a game day not be the primetime game. So
everything's
it's just,
but still Bama LSU. It'll still be rowdy. It's weird. This is maybe the least people have expected about Alabama in this game since 2011 when Bama lost to LSU.
Yeah.
So that could be quite interesting. But we're going to get into just all of these things. Anybody got an update on the reveal? Anybody know where we're at with that, or is ESPN just going to wait until 9:30 Eastern to throw it on?
Oh no, they're gonna wait till the end.
Gotcha.
You know how ESPN is. ESPN's gonna wait till the last second before they're gonna make you sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long they want to make you sit.
Yeah, how long is the show scheduled? Do you know that?
Is it 2 hours probably? I don't even know. I haven't even looked at it. Let me pull up my YouTube TV here on the TV. But no, I mean, where do we start? I mean, 1 versus 2 this weekend. I guess obviously the health of Tua is again in question.
Oh yeah, that too.
He
did yesterday in practice footage.
Yeah, he's got the leg. He's got the leg sleeve on. He's got the. I mean, he had the same ankle surgery that he had on the ankle last year, but it's on the opposite ankle.
Correct, which is probably better news, actually, I think. We talked about it at the time, right? Last year, it was the front leg, kind of a drive leg. That's the accuracy. Back leg is power with a quarterback. So you'd rather the accuracy obviously be good if you had to sacrifice one of those two. I think that's already better news for Alabama, not even getting into the fact that he's dealt with this injury before. He knows what goes into the rehab. He knows where he can push and maybe not push. And obviously he got a week off because Alabama had a bye week. And then Mac Jones started the game prior. Shout out to Mac 10. Kev, I can't believe we're however many minutes in and you haven't gone on a Mac Jones rant.
Well, I mean, I was getting there. But
quarterback in the history of Alabama football.
God bless Mac Jones. Mac Jones is a hero right now. I can only imagine what Mac Jones is doing in Tuscaloosa right now.
What about Saturday night after the victory?
Oh, golly. Yeah. I can only imagine what Mac Jones' Saturday night was like. He played a very good game, I thought, for what people give him credit for being, I guess. So
could Tua have thrown it much better? I don't know.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's not disrespect to it.
I'm just saying that was perfect.
Yeah, no, I mean, Mac Jones played a great game, got the W, and here we are. Alabama's still undefeated. They're number 2 in the country, and we're playing 1 versus 2. So,
All right, Kev. So where are we going here? We want to go Alfano. We want to go recruiting. Do we want to go pure football? LSU. This version of LSU versus Bama. Where do we go? Where do we go from here?
I mean, we can jump into Alfano real quick. That won't take that long. You got the former number 1 overall recruit in the recruiting composite, and comes down to Bama, and everybody has all these big expectations for the guy, which we've said on this show before that putting these big expectations on these true freshmen can backfire, and I think this is one of those situations where it backfired, and he had all this pressure on him to come in and be this guy that he struggled with, I guess. I mean, I don't know the logistics of the whole situation on whether he was having trouble with the playbook or having trouble physically adjusting, which I don't think he had, because I mean the physical adjustment probably was a lot greater than the mental, because I mean if you go way back when me and our friend Bama Dave did a breakdown of him on here on the YouTube channel, and I made the comment that didn't really look like he was playing like JV teams, but
yeah, the competition there. What was it, Jersey?
Yeah, Jersey. But I mean, So I mean, no, who knows? He hooks up with his former recruiter from Georgia and ends up at Colorado.
Yeah. So
I mean,
obviously, distance from home wasn't the issue if you're going to Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought that's what the whole thing was. Like his grandma was sick or something, and he was having trouble or something. I don't know the logistics.
It's kind of a messy.
Yeah, he ends up at Colorado.
Yeah, he's Colorado for a start for everybody, and what we talked about actually, not to be I told you so, but we talked about this Bama D-line class as a whole was a really great one. Sure, DJ Dale has surprised pretty much all of us, but we were super high on Bryce Young, Justin Eboigbe, guys like that. We were lauding the whole time, in addition to Antonio Alfano. So it wasn't kind of Alfano and then the rest of that D-line group. We were high on the whole D-line group. We said it was easily the best haul positionally against anybody else in the country. It was that Bama defensive line haul, and pretty much all those guys are playing day one or year one, I should say, except for Ishmael Sopsher out of Louisiana, who we all kind of would have expected to need a year or so, trim up a little bit and play football in 2019 on the D-line, which is, those guys who can play, inside and rush the passer still, which is not necessarily a strength of his. So that D-line haul, the quantity as well as the quality, of course, paying off for Alabama, as we've seen a ton of freshmen playing this year. So, Alfano, obviously, you don't want to lose a guy like that, but it was, like we said, kind of messy, and I think probably, for the better for everybody involved there. So, shout out to Antonio, shout out to Mel Tucker, good guy, good coach, by the way. Colorado might have hired the right guy there. That could be something nice to keep an eye on from afar.
Yeah, because I mean, right now the Pac-12 is like hot dumpster fire. Once you get past Oregon and Utah, just here, it goes in whatever division, however they have the divisions, bro.
They're north-south. Okay.
North-south, okay. So in the north, you have
Peters and the Legends. What was the coolest thing I've ever heard of? Like, why can't we just be direction?
So in the north, you have 8-1 Oregon in first, and then you have 4-4 Oregon State in second. So.
Shout out to the Beavers, man. Nobody thought they'd be good. They're not good, but they're not terrible. So.
I mean, they're good enough for the Pac-12. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to the hot dumpster fire that is the Pac-12.
Yeah.
And
they're one fourth quarter away from being undefeated. I mean, they dominated that game against Auburn and fell late. Oregon, and if you don't blink, but Oregon the last couple of weeks has looked like Oregon offensively. So the new Oregon is defense, trenches, what you would expect with Mario Cristobal, but now their offense is kind of caught up. So sign me up to watch Oregon Utah. But that's about it.
Yeah. So I mean, but then you also got the chaos. I mean, let's not act like the SEC right now is setting the world on fire.
Top heavy, man.
Top heavy, and then once you get past the top,
it's honestly it's probably the Big 12, maybe the Big 10 before the SEC if you're talking depth, because the bottom of the SEC is awful.
Yeah, I mean you got 0-6 Arkansas, 1-4 Vandy. I mean teams that were supposed to like be on the up and up. You got Kentucky struggling at 2-4 in conference. Tennessee is, I mean, they might as well just implode Neyland Stadium.
It's been better though. It's been better. I think Alabama will come up a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been a rough year for the bottom.
Arkansas would be the underdog against, 10 Group of 5 teams, maybe more, and that should never be possible for a Power 5 program.
Especially an SEC program.
Exactly. I was talking to a source today that was with some Alabama coaches, and without naming names, they called off the dogs. Let's just say very early against Arkansas. That could have been a record-setting day if Alabama wanted it to be. Nick Saban is gracious, contrary to some perception there. They called off those dogs extremely early. That's how bad Arkansas is. We do have some rankings coming out, though. I'm getting some tips here. Oklahoma 23. Kev, your boy Jalen, what's going on there? One loss 23rd?
One loss 23rd?
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough for OU.
Wait, what? This is playoff rankings? What's going on here?
I'm trying to keep up with 12 things at once here, but that's apparently right now coming out. That's crazy.
They're 23rd?
Make sure it wasn't like Oklahoma State or something.
Yeah, please, let's.
Maybe I'm an idiot, which is, possible. Wow, they're rolling out a ton of rankings. Auburn not in the top 10. You guys would be happy about that. Okay, it was Oklahoma State. My bad.
Okay, I was about to say.
I didn't see that STAT. Oklahoma is actually 9.
Yeah.
Just announced. Even then, probably a little low. I think K-State's a pretty good team that beat them. So real quick, 10 through 15, Florida at 10, Auburn 11, Baylor 12, Wisconsin 13, Michigan 14, Notre Dame 15. Didn't Notre Dame beat Michigan?
Yeah, but then Notre Dame lost and Michigan's been rolling. So
yeah, I don't watch that football. I'm done. After last year, the Michigan stuff is over for me.
Yeah, I've given up on Michigan.
Oregon and Utah 7 and 8. By the way, we're just talking about them. Not bad.
So let's go with does a one loss Pac-12 champion get in over a one loss Big 12 champion?
If that team is Oklahoma, that answer is no. But if that team is anybody else, I would say yeah. Oregon.
Yeah, so let's say Baylor runs the table and then loses to Oklahoma.
No, I don't think so. I think Oklahoma's the only Big 12 team that can lose a game and get in. Frankly, in any capacity.
Because this isn't. We're not talking about like a.
I think Baylor's got to go undefeated again.
Yeah. And then even then,
Clemson's in. SEC champ is in. Potentially number 2 SEC team in, whether it being, the loser of the title game and or Alabama, LSU, whoever loses this game on Saturday, and if they continue to win out. That's 3. Ohio State's rolling. They may be the best team in America in terms of the look test. They're not going to be out, we don't think. And Wisconsin still got a shot, right? 1 loss. If they not
Clemson's 5, by the way.
Clemson 5, yeah.
Out of the initial top 4, but I can't say I blame them with the dumpster fire of the ACC.
Obviously, if you guys are longtime drivers, you know how we feel about Clemson in general, Trevor Lawrence, all that stuff. But man, they've been really good the last few weeks. I think that North Carolina game where they kind of eked it out, I think really rubbed people the wrong way. I don't know how many people have watched Clemson since then, but they've been scary good. And that defense has been good all year. Say what you want about Trevor Lawrence, the interceptions, things like that, but that Clemson defense has been a top 5 defense.
I think they're getting the residuals from the rest of the ACC because.
Yeah, I feel like Clemson. Not me and you, but just nationally, there's just like a knee-jerk extremist reaction there. It's like they're the best team ever after they beat Bama because they beat Bama the way they did, and then any Kingdom of Armor, boom. Oh, they're just going to be in the playoff. They're not in the top 4. Like that. That's too much to me. I think we probably oversold them after the Bama win, and now they're getting undersold, even though they're undefeated and have had really one close game this year. That would be rewarded if it was in another conference or another team. But I feel like Clemson's getting judged pretty nitpicky. Because honestly, has Bama won better games than them? Not really. Bama hasn't beat anybody. I don't know. I don't know about that one. So Clemson 5 is interesting. Where was Georgia, Kev? 6?
Georgia was 6. Oregon 7. Penn State 4. Alabama 3. LSU 2. Ohio State 1.
Penn State 4.
So you're saying Penn State is in? You're saying 2 Big Ten teams get in? Get out of my face.
It's November now, but it's the first one. So
yeah, I know, but like two Big Ten teams get out, and then you go home.
This later with LSU. That defense has not looked like an LSU defense, and I feel like, everyone's in love with LSU, and rightfully so. Joe Burrow's been a revelation. Joe Burrow should be right at the front of the Heisman conversation. All of that. Yes, those receivers are great. That O-line has overperformed. All these great things, but that defense has not looked great other than some of the D-line play and the fabulous freshman corner, Derek Stingley. Christian Fulton hasn't looked like a world beater. Grant Delpit's been good, maybe not as good as some of us expected. I don't know.
Now he's questionable for the Alabama game.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Obviously, these things are going to be settled soon, right? Penn State's got an undefeated Minnesota coming to town.
Row the boat, son. Let's go.
Getting paid, shout out. But, and obviously Alabama LSU will sort itself out as well. But it's just interesting to see how the committee, people who are supposed to be truly into the games, X's and O's, watching the teams and the talent, would have Penn State over Clemson. Is just not for me. Penn State offensively has not looked great in a lot of games. Defensively, they've been very good. But again, who is Penn State? Has not looked great. Who is Penn State really impressed against from an offensive standpoint? I'm not sure. Maryland, Rutgers. I'm not sure about that. But hey, have fun, Penn State. You're in the top 4 right now. Enjoy it. Don't know if it'll last.
It won't.
Yeah. I like Ohio State 1, though. I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with that. I think Justin Fields has exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
That defense. I know I'm a defensive guy, and I've been talking about all these defenses. That Ohio State defense, holy crap.
You know me, and I hate Ohio State, but Ohio State looks. They look pretty freaking good.
Like, that thing is, woo. Like if you love ball, man, that defense. I'm watching Ohio State play whoever because I just want to see those guys get after the passer.
Chase Young's a monster.
Chase Young is he's like the Predator and the guy from Halo, raveled into one.
He's the dude you used to make on Road to Glory, like on NCAA. Like he's the dude you used to
bring it back. By the way, bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back since they changed the NCAA. They finally came to their senses and
Yeah. So once again, real quick: Ohio State 1, LSU 2, Bama 3, Penn State 4, Clemson 5, Georgia 6, Oregon 7. So 3 SEC teams in the top 6. No surprise there. The highest ranked ACC team at 5, which I think is pretty tough. And as you said, Kev, Big Ten 1-4. what would have to happen for two Big Ten teams for you, Kev? Because basically everyone could agree that two SEC teams can very realistically get in. What for you would you have to see for these two, Ohio State and Penn State?
They're on the same side. They can't both get in.
Or
they're on the same side. They both can't get in. Because there's no way, unless LSU implodes, Alabama implodes, and like Clemson loses to Syracuse or something, or they've already played Syracuse. Unless Clemson loses to somebody that I don't even know, they still play like the Citadel or something, maybe. Like I don't know. I mean Citadel, shout out Citadel.
Forest is good this year.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. There'd have to be just like
they got left, but it's true.
There'd have to be an implosion for both. I mean, because one of them's going to have to lose because they have to play each other.
And let's be honest, Ohio State plays Penn State. Ohio State will win that game by double digits, right?
Yeah, and then they don't have to, then there's no way for that to withstand because you're going to let a one-loss, non-champion Big Ten school in over no. I don't see that happening. Like I've said, and probably it'll stay that way for a while unless there's a power swing somewhere. I think the only conference that can put two people in is the SEC, and if the things keep going the way they're going in the Big 12, maybe the Big 12.
Yeah. We're getting some good questions coming in. Nick Saban Jr., shout out to you if you did lose all that weight. I know it's been a long time, so you had the opportunity to lose that weight. Shout out to you. Send me your diet. He said, it's a good question. Who would Clemson have to beat to move up? Well, Mike Boyd actually sent that question in. This is my thing. Are we ranking people on the resume or the best teams? Because I'm thinking the best teams, and my ranking would be who was going to be favored against who. And there are not four teams that I would favor over Clemson.
Yeah.
I damn sure wouldn't. Penn State and Clemson on a neutral field, come on, man. That's a 11, 12-point spread at least, right? For Clemson.
Yeah.
So that resume thing is tricky. Would Alabama be favored over Clemson right now? I guess depending on maybe. But why
neutral field? I don't know.
I mean, Alabama's defense has not looked great. Clemson's defense has looked better. Clemson offensively has looked just as explosive as Alabama at times. The only difference is that they've turned the ball over a little bit more. So if you measured all that in, would Alabama be a favorite? I'm not sure. I would rank Bama ahead of Clemson right now, but definitely not Penn State. And honestly, Clemson, LSU neutral field. Are you going LSU?
That's a tough one. To me, that's a tough one.
That I would favor over them is Ohio State for sure, maybe Bama, and that's it for me. I would pick LSU to defeat Clemson on a neutral field. I would not put them as the favorite. I wouldn't, especially with the way Clemson's defense has been. LSU's playing like Big 12 football. They need to score and just hold you to 25 because they're going to score 40, right? Yeah. So you're not going to do that to Clemson. So I would favor Clemson over LSU, but I get the LSU love, and right now it's a love fest. I mean, they're so alike, right? Coach O, Burrow. I mean, they've been a quarterback away for a decade, and now they got the guy. They got the new passing offense. These receivers look amazing. So easy to love. I get it, but football wise,
They've always had the receivers. They just never had anybody to throw to them.
That's true. But I'm not on a neutral field today. I'm not favoring LSU over Clemson. Sorry. Yeah. Maybe I'll change my mind later, but today I'm good.
I mean, right now, I'm gonna disagree, and I'm gonna go LSU over Clemson on a neutral field. So there's our first disagreement in the last 10 months. So LSU.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust LSU's defense. I've never said that in my life, but I don't trust their defense. I think they have their lack of depth at corner is something that I think Clemson could expose because I actually love how Clemson's receivers set up this year with instead of Renfro in the slot. I actually like Amari Rodgers better for explosive plays. I think Renfro is the best 3rd and 6th receiver ever in the world, fine. But in terms of explosive plays, Rodgers has been just as good as Ross and Higgins on the outside. I think he's getting healthier every week, and that's very scary
Yeah.
And I think the thing that for some reason people still don't talk about, Clemson's running game. Travis Etienne and that running game is
Travis Etienne's
easy.
One of the best running backs in the country.
Right. So against an LSU defense, I wouldn't trust them to stop that for 4 quarters. And again, Clemson's defense has been, very good, very good. So it'd be a great game. I would watch it absolutely. But today I'm favoring Clemson personally. But it's close either way, so I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I get both sides of it. I don't know. I'm feeling the LSU love.
Yeah, the beauty of it. Saturday, it's either
Football is good when the SEC is better when LSU is good, in my opinion. Just because you got everything. I mean, just when they're not good, the SEC there's something missing in the SEC because you're not, now you have Coach O screaming and yelling and doing all that stuff. If I could just, that would be
he's not helping himself this week though. He's been strutting a little bit, Coach O.
Puff that chest out, Coach O. Go ahead, son.
Puff it out pretty good. That's going to be interesting because Bama's number 3, LSU's number 2. I mean, Bama's going to be pissed off. Why would you add to that? I mean, that whole team is as confident as I've ever seen. But there's a time and a place, young man.
Yeah,
man, for Coach O, time and a place for everything, and I think that will not hurt Alabama's chances. I'll say that.
Puff that thing, Big O. Puff that thing, Big O.
You know what I mean? Come on now.
Yeah. So, if you want to, we can. There's some pretty good recruiting questions that we got on.
Speaking of those,
Twitter.
I promise that I've missed them. So if you have them archived, Kev, help me out. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, I got them pulled up.
Here for the people.
Yeah. So, at Tommy Touch 09 says chances with Rakeem Jarrett and Arian Smith.
Yeah, 2 explosive receivers. Very familiar with Arian. He's about an hour down the road from me at Lakeland High School. I mean, those guys can run, first of all. I know Arian will be in town. Haven't checked the latest update of the visitors list. I think Jarrett just took his official, if memory serves. So I don't know if he's coming back to town for this LSU game. By the way, the visitor list, that could be its own pod. It's going to be ridiculous. Bryce Young back, just 5 stars left and right, and in multiple classes. I mean, it's going to be, if you're a recruit, you want to be there, right? Who cares? Even if I'm not considering Alabama as a recruit, I'm going to.
I want to be there. I want to be there.
I'm interested in Bama today. Let's go check it out. But I think Rakeem Jarrett's pretty solid with his commitment to LSU. Tennessee vice versa, right? Committed to Tennessee? No, committed to LSU, looking at Tennessee as maybe the top threat. Alabama trying to factor in there. I do think that Alabama's got a shot there, but I think the ball's more in their court with Arian Smith. I think he's more of a Clemson, Bama, Georgia guy. And whichever one really hits the gas, I think has a good shot at landing Arian. He will be in town this weekend. That's something that obviously will help Alabama. And you talk about the type of receiver Arian is, 6 foot or so, 180 pounds, and a true blazer, right? Look at Alabama's roster, right? Devontae Smith.
Blazers.
Jalen Rado. I mean, these guys are 4'4", easy, right? Judy's a little taller, a little more of a route runner, a little more polished, certainly than Arian Smith at this time. But in terms of the skill set, Arian Smith fits, and that's something that is a testament to Alabama's offensive staff the last few years, because we weren't saying that before. Before it was Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, bigger, stronger, more physically dominant wide receivers. They could still run, but they weren't a little bit smaller in stature. So I think that this new wave is only helping Alabama's wide receiver recruiting, which has just come as full circle as LSU's quarterback room, right? I mean, it's something that pre-Julio Jones just wasn't really a thing. And even after that, it was, one guy at a time sort of at Bama. And now it's waves. It's waves of guys and even little guys, but they can all run and hurt you. And that's what Arian Smith, I mean, he's 10-3, I think, in the 100.
That's
I mean, he's a junior Olympian. I mean, that's all you need to know about his speed, and he's not small. And he's an effort guy, plays both ways. His junior tape, he's got a play where I think he's playing receiver at the top of the screen. Bottom of the screen, there's like a pick six or a fumble that they're taking back the other way on the other sideline. And it's like a corner. It's a DB running with the football. And Arian on the other side of the field runs him down, and he doesn't stop him at the 1. He stops him like at the 15. I mean, and this is Florida, right? The speed is ridiculous with Arian Smith. Could he polish up? Yes, but he's never played in one position. He's always focused on track as well. So once he actually gets to college, he's a kid that can get better, which is scary. So I think Jarrett is more of the polished slot receiver type, physical, kind of maxed out in terms of his weight. I think he's like 190 right now for not a big guy. A very polished receiver, high profile, high school, a ton of targets, ton of balls, all that. But Smith, his upside is really intriguing. I'd actually prefer him if I was an Alabama fan. But I do think Bama's in the top 2 or 3 for each guy. But obviously Jarrett's committed to LSU. Who could blame him for sticking with that at this point? They may not have a guy like that on the roster, but they're obviously throwing the ball, and those receivers won't be around forever. So that one's going to be a tough flip, in my opinion.
10-4. All right, Miguel asks, what are your predictions for the game, and who do you see Alabama finishing with in the 2020 class? So game, I'm assuming, is the Alabama-LSU game. And then who do you see Alabama finishing with in the 2020 recruiting class?
Yeah, the recruiting class is, I think, fluctuation a little bit. I think that's to be determined. I'm not as in tune as much as I was prior. I cover the Southeast as a whole, so I'm not Bama day to day. But obviously, we know top targets, right? We know they're going after Elias Ricks, trying to flip him from LSU. Another guy. There's a ton of battleground kids here. Obviously, Jordan Birch, #1 DM in the country. He's going to visit, I believe, this weekend. So there's a lot of guys who Bama could close out with and be really happy about. We just talked about a couple of receivers as well. I'm curious about running back. I think you could pair Roydell Williams with a nice back, especially now. There's some new backs on the market as well with the coaching carousel kind of rolling. As for the game itself, man, this is going to be fun. I think LSU has shown a lot, obviously, but I think Alabama's equipped on the outside with big corners. And that's really what LSU hasn't faced yet. I think the debate over the top cornerback tandem in the country, most people will start with Florida, right? Marco Wilson, C.J. Henderson on the other side. Marco a little bit bigger, not necessarily tall, probably 6 foot, maybe 6'1", but a little bit stockier, right? And then C.J. Henderson, 5'11" or so, really athletic and fast, but not overly physical. And LSU was able to take advantage of that with 50-50 ball. But you go to Bama, Trevon Diggs, Pat Surtain, man, I would put them above them this season. I think coverage-wise, it's been close between the Florida group and the Bama group. But in terms of overall play, physicality, run support, all of those things that are very important, Alabama's group has been better. I think Florida's have been almost a liability in that support, which is something I'd never say about a DBU type of team. Florida usually has physical corners, but not so much this year, from what I've seen. And actually, Jenkins yesterday on Monday Night Football did not help that argument. He was awful. One of the worst tackle attempts I've ever seen watching that Cowboys game. But
do you want the betting lines before you do this, or do you want to?
We could pick it with the spread and against. But my point is that Alabama's DBs are more equipped.
Yeah. The defense, yeah.
Right. Now, are there other areas where Bama maybe isn't as equipped? Sure. I mean, we all know how much youth there is in the front seven. But I do think, again, compared to Florida, there's a little bit of a difference. Terrell Lewis is starting to look like the Terrell Lewis we've been waiting for, right? I mean, when I say we, like college football fans, this kid has shown so many signs but has always had setbacks. So we pray that he doesn't have one on Saturday, but man, he's looking like an alpha pass rusher. He's looking like he's in that group after Chase Young, right? Greg Rousseau from Miami, the kid from UVA, the long kid who was a basketball player, and Terrell Lewis. Like that's kind of the beginning of the second group to me. So I think Bama's equipped at corner. They're getting better with the pass rush because not only do you have Lewis, but Jennings and those guys counter pretty well as power rushers. The only area where I think Florida might have been a little bit better is probably linebacker, but it's really just a youth versus experience thing. And hey, is LSU going to commit to running the football? I don't know. It's crazy, but they don't have to anymore. So I think that's where there's a little bit of a difference there. So I do think, and Florida, I'm bringing up Florida because they slowed LSU probably, they held them to 30 something maybe. They slowed LSU, them and Auburn, slowed LSU pretty well. And I think I'd take Bama secondary over Auburn's. The only thing I would take from Auburn is for sure that D-line because that's a little bit different. So I think Auburn forced LSU to run a little bit more because the D-line was so dominant and could get after Burrow. I don't know if Bama has that, but they would prefer LSU to run the football, but I just don't think LSU wants to. So I think Alabama's got a better chance. And obviously offensively, the reason Auburn lost that game is because Auburn couldn't score. So offensively, I think Alabama, obviously, with Tua, is going to be able to light up the scoreboard. We talked about LSU looking weird on defense. The lack of quarterback depth means who's covering Jalen Waddle, who's covering Smitty, or whoever's the slot. Ruggs. I mean, goodness, if you put your third best corner on Henry Ruggs, what are you doing? I'm worried about those guys, and I think LSU's going to have to allocate Delpit and those guys to stay deep, Jacoby Stevens, et cetera. So I actually think not only can the passing game obviously hurt, but I think Najee Harris in the running game against LSU could be really, really nice. LSU's lost some guys in that front seven, both on the D-line and at linebacker with Michael Divinity, I guess, leaving the team for personal reasons. So I do think Bama can control the game offensively, and their defense can stop LSU enough to win by 7, I'll say. What's the line, Kev?
The spread's Alabama minus 6.5.
Okay. I would reluctantly put that fake virtual cash on Alabama. I think especially being at home, I think is another added element here.
Minus 6.5, over under 65.
See, I think I'd rather bet the 6.5 than the 65.
Yeah, I don't see the 65.
So 65 is saying what, 35-30 kind of game, or 34-31 kind of game. I've never predicted Alabama to give up more than 30. I just, how could you, right?
Well, you could go, 40-20, but I mean, then you're saying is it a 20-point game? Like,
no, I don't think Bama wins by 20. I think Bama. Like I said, if they want to use the run game, I think they shorten the game a little bit. I don't think LSU is going to run the ball, but I think Bama can establish some longer drives. LSU, when they score, it's like a 3-minute drive. I mean, it's like, who are we watching here? But Bama, I think, can have some, A.J. McCarron-led looking Bama drives here and go, 5, 6, 7 minutes and kind of wear on LSU a little bit, which will be big late in the game. So I actually think the score might be a little bit more conservative. I would probably go Bama maybe 31, LSU, 24. I'd be somewhere there. So I'd be a little more inclined to play Bama minus 6.5 than play the over of 65.
Yeah, I would play the over. No, thank you.
Yeah. We got some people hating on Ohio State in this thing. Come on, man. Y'all watch them?
Yeah. Let's see. Do you got any info on Philip Webb? Because somebody wants to eval on Philip Webb. And if you think he'll end up playing inside or outside down the road.
That's a good question, too. Philip Webb, long lead, athlete on the edge. Reminds me of Chris Allen a little bit. I think he's athletically profiled like that. Chris Allen, of course, And like with Chris, you saw initially he was kind of an inside guy, a little bit easier to teach, I think. And Chris has transitioned back outside. And I think that's probably where Phillip is a little more at home. Bama's got a couple linebackers already committed, and I think some of those guys are destined to be inside guys. So I think if he's added to the class, it would be with the thought of him playing a little bit more outside. But I'm a fan of Phillip Webb. I mean, all you got to do is look at his finalists to see how much of a dude he is, right? If you're a defensive player with Bama, Georgia, LSU, I think Clemson is in there as a finalist. I mean, he plays ball. I think Auburn's in there maybe. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of his. Again, long, versatile linebacker who I think becomes a good pass rusher in the SEC. I think he can fix Bama before that Jack of Sam outside type, somewhere in the Chris Allen spectrum of linebacker. I've been a fan of Chris's since high school.
All right, here you go. Because I know you like this one because it's kind of would like to hear your thoughts on Jason Jones.
Oh boy,
playing left or right tackle.
Yeah, offensive tackle, right?
Yeah, offensive tackle, not defensive tackle.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to Auburn source of mine. I know guys, and I've known him for a long time, and all the guys that in high school we talked about as D linemen who were like, that's an offensive lineman. Get his ass to the other side of the ball immediately so that he can figure it out and learn it and learn to love it. Every single one of those guys has ended up on the offensive line in college, except for one. And, of course, the one plays for Alabama, Raekwon Davis. He's the only one that I thought
should have played a lot.
Was a destined left tackle with that length, that 6'8". I mean, just perfect. But he's proved me wrong. I mean, he had, 2 years ago, he had an All-American type season. He's been all conference. He's having a good year this year. He's looking like he made the right decision to come back. That's the only one I've been wrong on. Seeing these guys up close in the South. Heck, Ole Miss played 3 of those guys on Saturday, and their narrow defeat at Auburn, which was a weird game. Auburn has been something else this year. But Jason Jones, of all those guys that I just talked about, all those guys that in high school I was like, man, he's probably an offensive tackle. This is the easiest decision of all of them. Jason Jones is an offensive lineman, and I think that's going to be the thorn in his recruitment. Are you willing to do it or are you not? If you're not, then if Alabama's ready to move on because you're not, now Alabama has an excuse. If you're not, I just don't know how many SEC teams would line up to take the kid at this moment. He just hasn't put together enough tape as a tackle. Explosiveness, pass rushing ability, all of that. I know he had the ACL, and his senior season's over, right? Calera's out of the playoffs. So what we got is what we got. And I've talked to high school coaches that have coached against him the last 2 years that have all corresponded the same thing. The kid needs to play offense. He might even be a guard. I don't even know if he's an offensive tackle. I mean, he is a wide-body, thick kid who I think is really good in short area spaces. I mean, he's a physical guy. He's not soft or anything like that. He's got an edge about him. He's got an attitude. He's built for the O-line. I mean, 6'3".
I think he would make a good guard.
Put that man at guard and tell him to watch Evan Neal the rest of the season and go be that at Alabama. But if he's not open to that, I don't know if he's going to be in the class. I would guess no today. As of today, I would guess that he does not sign with Alabama. I would think Georgia Tech, maybe Tennessee, Florida was thinking about pushing at one point, but they've backed off. I mean, these schools want the kid to consider O-line, and he's been very adamant about being a defensive lineman, which I think is hurting his recruitment. Unless he's
that's the one thing. Yeah, that's the one thing I won't ever understand about these kids these days, man. Like, you got a chance to go play high-profile Division I football. All they're asking you to do is play O-line.
Right, and he's like he's never done it. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, like if you're better suited for a position and they
like
think
19, right? It's like
I mean, do what
30 pounders are on the field ever on defense.
Do what you gotta do, man. Like
that's it.
I just don't. I won't understand it. So the next question is actually same thing. It says if Jones doesn't play O-line, do you think he'll be in the class unless we completely miss on somebody else?
I mean, it's funny because Bama's O-line recruiting is kind of built for another edition or two. So it's almost like Bama saying, hey, we have 2 commits right now on the O-line. Probably use a 6'6", 330-pounder. But, I don't think if he's not an O-lineman, I don't think he's in the class. I think feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, just do what they want you to do, man. Like if they want you to play O-line, go for it.
It's people who've been in the industry if every college coach is telling you the same thing, you should probably listen. It's not one of those things where it's one person like Bill Polian saying Lamar Jackson is a receiver in the NFL. It was one guy, right? So screw him. Listen to everybody else and go to the team that wants you to play quarterback. And you're in the MVP conversation now, bumping Kodak, which is great. But it's not just one person with a kind of outlier theory. Like it's unanimous almost. Coaches, college coaches I talk to, other people in our industry who have seen him live. I've seen him live. We all say the same thing. So I hope for the kid's sake that he makes the right decision and has a little bit more of an open mind. But hey, if you hate doing something, you shouldn't be forced to do it at the same time. So it might cost you a spot at Alabama, but hey, he can play D1 ball and go to school for free. And if that's the only goal, then he can play defensive line if that's truly, what he wants to do.
Yeah. So much luck to him because I don't think it'll be at Bama.
Questions about those rankings still, man.
Yeah.
Why Penn State, Clemson?
Say what?
Somebody's asking why Penn State is ranked over Clemson, and I think LSU, Ohio State 1-2. I guess some people are like you; they think LSU over Ohio State. I favor Ohio State head-to-head on a neutral site.
Wait, I said LSU over Clemson. I didn't say LSU over Ohio State.
I mean, LSU's got the best resume, but again,
yeah, they have the best resume right now, but the eye test is Ohio State.
Yeah, I agree with that. Which is why I disagree with Penn State being 4 over Clemson at 5. I mean, that's Minnesota. I mean, look, Penn State will beat Minnesota because Minnesota hasn't played a soul, even though they're undefeated. Shout out again, PJ Fleck, roll the boat, get paid, all that. But Minnesota's beating like Rutgers.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess he shut down the Florida State rumors pretty quick with signing an extension through 2026.
We're not going to Florida State. It's a weird time in this great Sunshine State right now. It's going to take a big name and it's a big job. Like your contract is a big job. I need to hire. I need to outsource. I need to bring in some other people. That's the Florida State job right now.
They just need to hire. They need to hire Jason Brown.
Yeah, did you see that tweet?
I did. I saw that shit.
Jason Brown's the last chance got fired recently.
Fired for calling a German player a Nazi.
Yeah, well,
amazing.
Which, if you watch the last chance, it's like there's 50 things worse than that. I thought, but hey,
Yeah, I mean, just the
international nation. It's a different story.
Yeah, like you could go spend a day in the Independence locker room and probably hear 10 things worse than calling that man a Nazi.
Yeah,
that's
good. Yeah, I mean, me, I'm a storyline guy. Like, I want Bama to play Clemson again. I want Jalen Hurts to play Bama. All these things. I want Lane Train at FSU, man. Make it happen. Come on, make it happen. They're going to go with an offensive hire, even though I think they should go defense. I would, if I'm FSU, I would go Venables, Aranda, Jim Leonard. These are the guys I'm calling. But
yeah, I mean, me and you talked about it the other day, and when they fired old Willie Taggart, I said they should go defense and just freaking hire Aranda or something.
Where do you think Willie Taggart is right now? What island? Because
my man got the second biggest payout behind my hero, Charlie Weiss.
Charlie Weiss, Bobby Bonilla in baseball, and Willie.
Heroes. They're my heroes.
Where, like, I'm going to pay you not to work. Oh, okay.
Well, as of last year, Charlie Weiss
that pays people millions of dollars not to work. Are we the only one? I mean, I can't think of any. There's no college sports elsewhere. We don't pay professional coaches in any, and maybe soccer, maybe.
I don't know how that works. They loan and do the weird stuff.
Crazy transactions, man.
Yeah.
So in a soccer league, you can, like, if you don't play well enough as a team, like, they'll send you to the minor leagues if you're in the pros. Like, soccer's insane. Soccer living in the year 3000.
Yeah, but like back to that whole thing. Like, as of last year, Charlie Weiss was making more from Notre Dame than Brian Kelly was. Just saying.
Well, Brian Kelly's been there like a decade.
Yeah, so he had, not only did he have the buyout from Notre Dame, he had the buyout from Kansas.
Right. Shout out to Les Miles, my guy.
Shout out to Les Miles, because so you got a Notre Dame buyout and a Kansas buyout. Taggart got a $17 million buyout. My man is like sitting in Barbados somewhere, like not caring about football right now.
America, that's probably where I'd go to. Man.
And then Bobby Bonilla obviously getting paid $1 million a year to not even think about baseball is amazing.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What a legend.
Like, I mean, Bobby Bonilla Day is like a real thing now. Like the day he gets paid, like people, I mean, it's a real thing.
What day that is.
Yeah. But back to some recruiting stuff. With the decommitment of Xavier Hill, does Bama look to add another tackle, OT? And where do they stand for Georgia Tech commit Jamar Gibbs?
The running back, yeah.
And is there any shot at Darnell Washington?
Yeah, well, Arik Gilbert going to LSU was one of the biggest surprises in recruiting history.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest surprise since George Pickens picked UGA on signing day with all the Auburn media there.
Shout out George Pickens.
I mean, that was something. Georgia at Auburn coming up, right? 2 weeks, I think. That'll be interesting for him.
I would be as like 10 catches for like $150.
That was a shocker. I mean, we were hearing that he might be looking around, but it was like Bama, LSU, Tennessee, I think, got the last official. So we were like, don't count out Pruitt, but Georgia was like the first official, like crazy. And he's real tight with Jaden Hazelwood, who decommitted from Georgia. So that was –
well, we knew those two weren't going, like –
definitely weren't going to school together, but
probably
would be on the same page of where not to go. And I thought Georgia would be on that list, naturally.
They dropped off that Raptor, man.
Jaden Hazelwood was like, he told me off record, he was like, I'm looking at these offenses, and Georgia was not throwing it last year. Where did he go? Oklahoma. Yep.
Oklahoma slinging the pill. Jalen Hurts for Heisman. Hashtag Jalen for Heisman.
Jalen for Senate, right? Eventually.
Yeah, eventually he's going to be a senator.
This guy. Whoop. That guy, he called it. If it happens. But no, Xavier Hill decommitting was somewhat expected, and I think it's one of those where a kid ain't coming back. I don't think it's a Xavier McKinney situation where maybe he comes back around and signs with Bama. I think he's going to stay in state, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, traditional Mississippi recruitment. I think Bama's going to look to replace him because right now Bama's got 2 O-line commits, and there's no way in hell Nick Saban will sign a class with 2 O-line. I don't care if they're taking 10 next year. He ain't signed a 2 this year. So Jason Jones conundrum aside, I do think Bama looks at least one more offensive lineman. Who's in the best position? I'm not sure. I've heard rumors that a couple of uncommitted guys, there are a couple of guys who are committed out there. They're going to try to get on campus, whether it be the kid from Cali, whose name escapes me at this moment, the Ayers kid, or Javen Cohen, in-state kid, top O tackle in Alabama, was committed to Auburn. I think they're going to push for a flip with one of those guys. And they're still on Brady Ward from down in Mobile. He's the guy who's coming back to campus. He's real tight with number one running back in the country, by the way. So that I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know why his last name is escaping me, but Zach is his first name.
Zach Evans.
Him and Brady been real tight. So that could be interesting. And I wonder if Alabama kind of dips into that well. And it's not like Brady Ward's a bad prospect. 6'7", 20 SEC legacy in St. Paul's, which is given Alabama legends. That's really interesting to me. So I do think there's still movement to come on that offensive line, and I think they will absolutely sign at least one more than they currently have committed. And actually, I also hear rumors about Damian George's grades, the O-lineman they do have committed, and the actual teammate of Zach Evans. I hear a little bit of rumors about his grades maybe not being up to snuff. If any of those things are true, Bama's going to be active with offensive linemen, but I don't think Xavier Hill comes back around.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's a guard, by the way. I don't think that.
Yeah. So,
tackle committed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Make it happen, Twitter.
All right. Well, I'm going to throw this one out here because no one else has asked it so far. And me and you have talked about it, but I want to talk about it on record. Let's go with the Clemson-Bama quarterback comparison of Bryce Young and DJ.
Ooh.
Who's, in your opinion?
What are we ranking here? Because I've had this fight with 24/7 Sports. What are we ranking? Are we ranking
I'm ranking
NFL draft, or are we ranking
college quarterback? College quarterback. No NFL bull crap. We're not projecting NFL. We're talking about who's going to have a better college career. I don't give a crap about who's going to have a better NFL career. A five-star means NFL career. Bull crap. Okay, so college career. Bryce Young, DJ.
I'm going to go – it's in this day and age, I'm going to go Bryce Young. He's the better runner. He's the more experienced passer. He's the more versatile passer in terms of throwing off platform, playing on the run, 7-on-7 improvisation, all of those elements that makes Tua so great. I think Bryce has some of that. He takes more risks, which I think is a good thing in 2019. We don't look at TD interception ratio like we used to. We shouldn't. We're throwing more, so let's not focus on the turnovers as much. I think DJ is a little bit safer, bigger, stronger, just maybe a higher floor, but I think Bryce has a higher ceiling. And I think Bryce could start at Alabama next year. I mean, I'm sure we're going to talk about this when we get into visitors, but this is the most important commitment in a couple years for Alabama, to me. Because if you knew what you knew about Tua when he committed, you would throw everything else out the window. And remember, that cycle, I love these guys, but in that cycle, Najee Harris was ranked higher, Alex Leatherwood was ranked higher. These guys are all great starting players who are going to make a lot of money next year. But these guys were ranked higher. I think Jerry Jeudy was ranked higher according to some in that class. But obviously, if you re-ranked it, Tua would be right at the top. So if we're doing college, I'm going to take Bryce Young because I think he's got a chance to legitimately be the best quarterback at Alabama once he enrolls in January. This is his first visit this weekend, by the way. Since he committed, so you better believe those offensive targets are going to be rapping with him a little bit because he's a charismatic guy. He is a quarterback. There is a Jalen Hurts kind of smile and charisma about this kid. I'm not saying he's going to be the most unselfish human I've ever met in this day and age in the millennial generation, but I think in terms of just kind of it, Bryce has it. I spent a whole day with him tracking him at 7-on-7 at IMG in February, and this kid he's a magnet. He has a gravitational pull that I think you'll start seeing this weekend at Alabama. And don't think those receivers committed to Bama right now aren't thrilled that this kid's coming in with them because he's that type of guy. So I take him today, but in 5 years I would take DJ. I think he matures into an Andrew Luck kind of quarterback once he gets the reps and he's done sitting behind Trevor Lawrence, all those things, I think in 2024 I would take DJ. But in 2020, when these guys are both freshmen, I think Bryce Young is more fit and suited to play in a college football offense. And I think if I had to guess right now, I think he'd start for Bama the majority of next season. That's a lot to say, but I just think there's a lack of talent on that roster at quarterback, and it's going to be a big deal when he comes in. So A-Day, will get your popcorn ready because that quarterback rotation is going to be real. It's a four-way battle, right? So that's going to be something.
Four-way battle. Who's your
Mac Jones obviously is going to get the first snaps, and then you go to Leah, and then is Bryce Young immediately over Paul Tyson, like from the jump?
In my opinion, isn't Bryce Young over Talia?
He should be, but he won't be on A-Day, is what I'm saying. I'm saying A-Day.
Yeah, okay. You're giving. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So yeah. So I'm with you on that. DJ in 5 years, Bryce Young tomorrow. Bryce Young to me, and I've watched a good amount of tape on both of them. Bryce Young gets it right now at a different level than DJ, and I think it goes back to what they're doing with DJ at St. John Bosco and what they're doing with Bryce Young at Mater Dei. I think Mater Dei is asking more of Bryce Young than St. John Bosco is of DJ. I think DJ is more of a here's your first read, here's your second read. If none of those are available, run or throw away, whatever. So, I think he has more of a set, here's your first read, here's your second read. And then, Bryce Young is, if you watch him, he does take more risks. And I think, like you're talking about with, we're in 2019 right now, and you got dudes out there. You got Patrick Mahomes throwing no-look passes in the NFL. So,
there's definitely that in his game.
Yeah. So, I think Bryce Young has a very good chance at starting as a true freshman. Maybe not 100%, but I think there's a very good chance of that because I do feel day one he would be the best quarterback in Tuscaloosa.
I would say that.
That's hard. That's hard for me to say with my man Mag 10. It hurts my heart to say that, but no, I just think that he gives Alabama the best chance to just pick right up where they left off with Tua. Not saying that he is Tua, but I'm saying he gives them the best opportunity to continue in the offense that they're running and not really fall off of where Tua leaves this offense.
Right, and I think we'll get into this later, but like later months down the road, but I think we have right? So the running back room is a little odd. Najee will be gone. There's really no, Brian Robinson is good. Playmaking-wise, though, I don't know if it's this year. And obviously, receiver. We know at least 2 or 3 of those guys are out. So Bama will need the quarterback to be more of a natural playmaker. So you got to go for that. You got to go to pressure on the defense, even if it's freshman. Because you're just not going to have the available options. Jalen Waddle will be back. John Mechie will be back. Maybe one of the big 3 comes back. Maybe. But I think you get one of the big 3 back.
I don't think they all go. I think you get I'm trying to make a pick on that one. I think you probably get a Devontae Smith back just based on I don't know. You might not, but I think you get one of them back at least. Jackie White asked us.
That's a good question. I was just gonna bring that up. Go ahead.
What? Who?
Jackie White. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So which one of Bama's quarterbacks does Young send to the transfer portal? Like all 3 of them?
I would think I would. Man, this is hard because Talia and Paul have so many ties to Alabama, right?
Yeah.
And Mac is the veteran, right? So you can make a case for all of them, right? All three of them. I would think Paul stays. It's too early for him.
Yeah.
I think it'd have to be Mac or Talia. One because
I think
will be gone, but Mac might be able to graduate and play immediately. So
that's what I'm saying. Can Mac will be able to grad transfer? So I mean,
it's got to be.
Yeah, maybe even Talia.
It's one of those two. It's not Paul.
No, because Paul's locked in. I mean, he'll be there for the long haul. He'll get some snaps on senior day or something.
Well, if Mac is still there, and even if Talia's there, there's some small quarterbacks. I know that's not as big of a deal as it once was. Those are some little guys. So I mean,
yeah,
Mac is obviously has benefited from that already with Tua. But those are some little guys though. So I don't know. I don't know if he bolts. You can make a case for easily, really, for Talia and or Mac Jones to hit that portal. I would assume at least one of them does. I think that's the same bet. Those two, I don't think both stick around the whole year. So that's going to be, again, when you get a guy like Bryce Young, that's just part of it, right?
I mean,
Georgia, how that works, because those guys they're all balling. All of those quarterbacks had great games this past weekend. They're all playing well. They're all presumably going to get a shot at the league. I'll say they will, actually. All three will get a shot at the league. Yeah.
And
that throwing off his back foot Jake Fromm played to ice it against Florida was magnificent. I don't know if Easton or Fields makes that play. I know Fromm's taking a lot of heat, but the kid's nails when he needs to be. It has been since day one. So.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jake Fromm. Good guy, too. Good thing.
Well, there you got Jackie White saying, don't forget about Drake May.
Well, that's for 2021. So
I know, but I think we've already forgotten about Drake May.
I'm just saying, I mean, who knows if he even signs it out? Right? Bryce, this is the thing. Again, when you get Bryce Young committed, you are sacrificing quarterback, period. When you bring in a quarterback, you are sacrificing other quarterbacks. That is just the millennial mindset. That's just what it is. I mean, all you got to do is look at college football. Look at the freaking teams that are ranked. Ohio State has a transfer quarterback. LSU has a transfer quarterback. Bama's got Tua and has sent other quarterbacks back. Penn State, is that kid transfer in? Clifford? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Clemson's quarterback sent 3 to the portal, or 4 maybe. Georgia's quarterback sent 3 or 4 to the portal. You know what I'm saying? Oregon's the only school on this top 7 that really hasn't been affected at quarterback by the portal. That's it. I mean, it's the portal with that position. That it seems like that's what it was meant for. So when you bring in a 5-star quarterback like Bryce Young, you are sacrificing a quarterback. We don't know which one, but if you're Drake May and you're coming in 21 and they're starting a freshman in 20, you got to be willing to theoretically sit for 2 years. Will he be willing to do that? I'm not sure. I have no idea. I've talked to the kid once. I've seen him once. I don't know if he's going to be willing to do that, but if Bryce Young wins that job, that's something that Alabama would theoretically had been willing to sacrifice along the way, which is the right call. But
10-4 it is.
He's special. So you take Bryce Young 5 times out of 5 every time you take him, especially when you're losing, in theory, the number 1 pick in the draft.
Chase Young plays for Ohio State, by the way.
I see. I'm with you, though. I'm with you. This is the Miami Dolphins here. So Miami Dolphins.
Oh man! Can we have a live draft pod with your brother? Just
if you guys don't know, I'm from Miami, so yeah, it's been fun. I've gotten more Tua questions from Dolphins fans than Bama fans since the podcast ended. So yeah, that's going to be something. I don't know. if I'm a Dolphins fan, I want Chase Young. I think he is generational.
Yeah.
I think, there's not a lot of guys like that. Bosa, Myles Garrett, Khalil Mack. I mean, that's the group, and I think he's got a chance.
He's up. Yeah, it's
young, ridiculous pass rusher. I think he's that good, and he's been that good. He's been that good. But if Bosa was healthy last year, him and Young opposite each other, I don't even want to know. I don't.
Yeah.
They would have gotten JT Barrett drafted even higher. Dwayne Haskins, my God. That would have been the most lethal edge competition in years. But obviously those got those jobs.
Yeah, and if you're Tua, like you're pulling an Eli Manning and like refusing to go to freaking Miami, like
not walking on the stage. Nope.
Nah, I'm good. Like just.
Well, the other teams that suck aren't really better. I mean, like Washington, Cincinnati, these are the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah, but those teams aren't going to draft a quarterback. Washington just drafted a quarterback. Cincinnati's been riding out with the Ginger Wonder forever. So I mean, yeah, well, they'll still give him another chance.
Would Tua rather play in Miami, or would he rather play in the freaking AFC North against Baltimore and
Cincinnati's going to sign somebody from like the Cuyahoga County Jail or something. So. They'll be all right. But yeah, no, Chase Young, in my opinion, goes number one overall.
No, so good with that. Again, are we drafting positional need or the best available?
This is the best available Chase Young.
Yeah, but see, again, does Miami need a quarterback? They got Josh Rosen. He's like 24 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, give Josh some time and draft an O-lineman, for God's sake. Like,
Josh, that next draft has got Trevor Lawrence.
Like, draft somebody to protect him, maybe. Like,
no, they got rid of their best one. Let him be something out of it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Draft somebody to protect him. Like, I mean, you drafted my man in a gas mask. Like, you can't find somebody that can, like, you can't.
That big draft night. It was probably Miami, too, because they drafted him anyway.
Miami PR. Miami PR got a hold of that and was like, oh, release this.
And send.
And post.
Twitter's changed the world, man. Changed the sports world forever. Yeah, that's going to be funny. And like what somebody in the comments said, Miami's O-line is terrible. Tua hasn't been the most durable quarterback. I mean, what are we doing?
Tua needs a good O-line, let's be honest.
Yeah. And we've never seen Tua in the cold either. Dolphins division, got New England, Buffalo, New York. Just saying.
Go play in the dome.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Tua's going to get paid either way. He's going to probably be really good either way. The best move, but
because then I mean, not only do you have Tua, you have Fromm. I mean, you got some
Herbert, man. He's playing well too.
As crappy as the quarterback class was last year, this year it's pretty good.
Utah State kid's really good. There's guys. Eason could come out, and he's.
I mean. Yeah, Eason could. Because, I mean, last year you were kind of slim pickings. I mean, Daniel Jones, let's just –
You're lucky Kyler picked football.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler Murray picked football and for some reason.
Yeah.
Should have played baseball.
I agree. But
Tua coming back to school, doubt it.
That's a homer right there. Who said that? Ooh.
Jackie. Jackie. Maybe if they like sacrifice Nick Saban on the 50-yard line or something, might be your only chance.
Yeah.
I don't.
No. I mean, again, when you're talking about coming back to school, don't give me the stuff because you can get that one ever. It's do I need to put more on tape? Raekwon Davis needed to put more on tape so he came back. Good call. Tua? These receivers, what more are they going to put on tape?
Nothing.
They've won natties. Like what?
And then you're gonna ask Tua to come back for a year and risk another one of these injuries. Like
that's besides the point. I mean, it's like go. Everyone like talks about that. Oh, I need to put more on tape, do this and that. Go do that in the NFL.
Yeah.
You out there, you'll get tape. You'll be better. He needs another year to get better. Do it in that league. That's what all the NBA guys do. All these 19-year-olds get drafted and they play, and it's like, oh well, he averaged 8 points a game, but then the second year he averaged 30. So instead of going back,
look at the guy like Devin Booker, who was trash his first couple years in the league. Now the man's like scoring 40 a game, but So I mean, I just Tua coming back to school is not.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we like to expand, but no, like a Jalen Hurts, go to Oklahoma now, and everybody hated. I said Jalen Hurts is gonna get a cup of tea in the NFL, and with what he's doing in Oklahoma,
yeah, there's no doubt in my mind Jalen Hurts gets drafted. Are you kidding?
You're welcome, by the way. So,
yeah, ain't no doubt in my mind he gets drafted. He will be an England Patriot. Come on. Kidding me?
He is gonna replace Tom Brady
in the year 2030.
Yeah, in like 5 years he'll replace Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But look at that quarterback group: Tom Brady, Jacoby Brissett, and freaking Jimmy G. Like all are balling.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett, man.
Yeah.
The Florida transfer quarterback group is a good one.
Florida transfer to NC State. The NC State transfer group is good too because they claim Russell Wilson too. So
that's true. That's true. The Finley kid's pretty good. I think that's who Cincinnati benched Dalton for. I think that's who's in there now.
Who? Riley Finley
from NC State. Yeah.
Oh, the most boring quarterback of all time.
Well, he's playing for the Bengals, so far from.
Yeah, all you gotta do is throw the ball.
Yeah, I don't think they've won a game yet. Maybe one. Oh.
Yeah, I think they've won one, maybe two. Who knows? It's Cincinnati.
So yeah,
Does Cincinnati have like real fans? Like,
who's more of a New England Patriots quarterback, Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts. The storylines, Patriots.
Or
Jake Fromm. Okay, Jake Fromm is like Mr. Patriot. Like that would make perfect sense because he's like.
I know they just took Stidham from Auburn, but I would probably rather have any of those guys I just named.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like you said. It was it's a heck of a quarterback year, that's for sure. We got any more Twitter questions? Because that was a pretty good response.
Twitter questions. That was the last of the Twitter questions.
Okay, cool. So we missed any on here?
Oh, I'm sure. If you'll give me a second, I'll scroll back up to the top.
Yeah, I think it's on my computer. Again, guys, going through a new.
Yeah, this is a new streaming thing for us.
On the YouTube channel. There were some other options that weren't, so it's good that we found this.
Yeah. About time. Saw y'all just got sick of Ben Davis questions.
My man Ben Davis got ripped by Nick a few weeks ago.
I heard Ben Davis acquired a mental problem.
Yeah, that was. Shout out to Ben Davis for sticking it out. You could have hit the portal like the other guys, but you didn't.
I thought I saw him on like punt or something the other day.
Was he? Because he jumped off sides on fourth down or something.
Oh, yeah.
It was on special team.
Yeah, it was on punt return.
He jumped off sides even though they were up 48-0.
Yeah, he was on punt return and he jumped off sides. Yeah.
No, once you saw these freshman linebackers starting early for Bama, you kind of knew that was.
Yeah, shout out that freshman linebacking class. Like,
serious.
We weren't real high on a lot of them, but
Was not a linebacker in high school.
that's what I'm saying. Like, we weren't high on many of the linebackers. I mean, we said Shane Lee would be good eventually.
Right.
We said, I mean, but you got these guys playing day one.
Incredible.
Christian Harris was a safety, wasn't he?
The returner, running back, receiver. He was just a gadget guy.
Yeah. I mean, that man's playing
incredible. I mean, Dylan Moses. See, that's a more interesting does he come back to school question.
Don't do it.
Wait, no, is he – what class was he? Yeah, he was 2017, right?
He'd be able to come out.
Yeah, see, he was ranked higher than Tua.
He could come out. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're
– that's a hard one. That's a hard one. He's got
a year of tape.
But he doesn't have, for that first round linebacker tape, I don't know if he has enough. I don't know. Yeah. Athletically, yeah, all those things, yeah, but that's gonna be a tough one there. But yeah, like you said, shout out to these linebackers. Christian Harris wasn't even one until now, and Shane Lee, like you said, I mean, I thought
Shane Lee was a project. Like,
he was physically ready for the run game, but I just didn't think he was going to be a guy who played 3 downs, and he's played well in coverage. That's been really necessary for Alabama this year. It's been weird. It's been weird with the injuries there at linebacker. So we'll see. I mean, but that's the thing. LSU, they're not really going to run it. I don't think you wonder about how important that was until you play Georgia, Auburn, maybe a Clemson in the playoff, a team that can really line it up and kick your ass. And I think that's when you find out just how big of a loss that was with those linebacker injuries. But it won't be Saturday, which is, again, weird to say because LSU usually runs the rock. But
this ain't Leonard Fournette's LSU.
Right.
Exactly. So, who is LSU bringing in at quarterback? Are you hearing anything about Derek King transferring to LSU? I've heard a couple places for Derek King right now. LSU, Georgia, Florida State.
I would have kind of Alabama bringing in a graduate. I'm just saying. At least for the battle. I don't know. We've seen grad transfers go into battle, go where they're not guaranteed the gig, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got. Alex Honeybrook lost the job to James Blackman at Florida State.
Then he kind of got it back, and
then he kind of got to want it. Then he doesn't have it, and Florida State's just trash right now.
Yeah, but we've seen grad transfers go and fail. So I mean,
yeah,
Gardner Minshew was going to be.
Gardner Minshew was going to go into coaching and just come to Alabama just to become a coach. Now my man's playing on Sundays. Like,
my man's got to follow him. It's
like, just take that guy off the street. Like, if there was somebody standing outside my window right now, like, take that guy off the street, plug him into a Mike Leach offense, and you got a 5,000-yard passer.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So, I love Mike Leach. Mike Leach at FSU? Yeah, maybe.
If you do it.
Why not?
I mean, they're going to go off. They should go defense, but they're going to go off. So.
Yeah, so, I mean, right now,
those are the guys I would look at.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're an hour and a half into this bad boy, so.
Wow. Good for us. Good for technology.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty good for.
Yeah.
I literally found this 5 seconds before we did this, so good for me.
Good for you.
Good for us. This has been a long time coming. I've missed the crap out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna work at it. No guarantees or promises, but we are gonna work at this thing, and there's some things coming up. So we'll obviously keep you posted. But yeah, all the accounts are still there: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the other stuff. obviously YouTube channel. You're already here, so subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll know when we're coming back on. We're planning on getting it back on iTunes, all those things. So stand by, and we'll see how the tech, how we deal with it with the tech. But the plan is that we're back. The loose.
Yeah.
And like Kev said, we missed this a ton. I mean, we still talk all the time, but it's just, this is you guys.
Yeah, man. This is
you. And, we'll work hard at it for you guys. It's not you out nonsense. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not. It's for you guys. The questions,
you guys,
the familiar,
you guys come to hear us. So.
The familiar names are really great to see. Jackie and Nick Saban Jr. I guess. Just
pretty sure. Yeah, that's they've been there for a while. Yeah.
Shout out to Cleo. Shout out to Josh White. Some of our regulars, our biggest supporters that are still there. Shout out to all you guys. Tua to Smitty, of course, right? Bama fan.
Yeah.
Jay short for Jay. All you guys and girls. We really appreciate it. And, we'll see, right?
10-4.
All right, Kev. Any picks or anything this weekend that we can wrap up with?
Yeah, let's wrap up with we'll wrap up with top 25.
Oh. Yeah.
And
start up and we'll say peace out for the night.
Yeah. So we'll wrap up.
Bring them back.
Miami Sharks.
Bring them back. Change their name, Dolphins. Come on now.
Yeah, let's go. Steam and Willie Beeman. Let's see. Maryland at Ohio State. Ohio State minus 43.5.
Oh my God, that's the spread.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
43.5?
43.5 at the Horseshoe.
Just pick the other team, whatever you said. That's ridiculous.
Maryland. It's Maryland.
I mean, I guess.
All right, number four, Penn State at Minnesota. Penn State minus 7.
I don't love Penn State's offense. I don't know anything about Minnesota other than played nobody, and they just paid their new coach.
Yeah.
You know what? Screw it. Go Golden Gophers, man. They're not going to win, but let's say they cover.
Row the boat, ski you ma, whatever.
Yes.
Vanderbilt at Florida minus 26. Florida.
Vanderbilt is very bad. Florida's coming off of a loss, coming back home. I think their defense is great. They'll put it on Vandy. The last game me and you went to, Florida was Vandy at Florida.
Oh yeah, that was the wackest place on earth. Like, you know how you got like Orlando and Disney World is the happiest place on earth. Like Gainesville is the wackest place on earth. People, just letting you know.
It was it was what it was. But Florida. I think Florida rolls easy.
Yeah. Number 12 Baylor at TCU. Baylor minus 2.
Ride with Baylor, man. Matt Rule is talk about a guy who can flat out coach. That's a guy. If I'm in the NFL, if I'm Florida State, who else is open? Rutgers? He ain't going to Rutgers.
Rutgers fired their coach too? I missed that.
Oh, their coach like a month ago. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No chance. Oh, yeah. Rutgers. The birthplace of college football, ladies and gentlemen.
Big Matt Rule guy. So pick Baylor.
Yeah. All right. Number 25 or East Carolina at number 25 SMU. SMU minus 22. I know nothing about East Carolina or SMU, so
Carolina almost Cincy last week. It was like a 46-43 game or something.
Yeah. I mean, I should know about East Carolina, but I don't. So
spends it pretty good.
Yeah.
They can score for sure. But SMU is really good. And they're coming off a loss too. So give me SMU. Whatever the spread.
We already did LSU Bama. 16 Kansas State at Texas. Texas minus 7.
Ooh, Kansas State can play. And Texas is overrated again.
They're bad. No.
Still there, Sam. Give me K-State, man. It's not a fluke.
Let's ride.
When they went and beat up Mississippi State in Starkville like week 2, I was like, yo, look at these guys. And they've been rolling ever since. They beat Oklahoma more than the score indicated. And I thought they could have a letdown against our boy Les Miles in Kansas, and they blew them out of the water like they should.
Shout out Kansas for their first sellout in a decade.
Yeah. KSU, man. I'm good on that. They're the second best team in the Big 12 to me, or third, excuse me, behind Bama, Oklahoma.
Number 19, Wake Forest at Virginia Tech. Wake Forest -2.5.
I'll take Wake. They can score it. Virginia Tech can only score against Miami.
UConn at number 20, Cincinnati. Cincinnati -35.
Wow, that's huge.
UConn's trash.
That's a big number, but it's at Cincy or UConn?
It's at Cincy.
All right, yeah, they'll cover.
Here we go. The battle of what could have been. Number 18, Iowa at number 13, Wisconsin. Wisconsin -9.5.
Love these defenses. Wisconsin has been pretty good since the loss. It's not like it was that.
2 losses.
What?
The 2 losses.
Who else did they lose?
Wisconsin's 6-2, my man.
Ohio State.
They lost to Ohio State and Illinois.
Oh yeah, Lovey. He was on the hot seat before that one.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Is that Iowa?
Iowa's 6-2, Wisconsin 6-2.
But at Iowa, or is that
at Wisconsin?
Oh, yeah, they'll win that one. But I would take Iowa though. 9 points is too much.
Yeah. All right, Missouri in Athens against the 6th-ranked Bulldogs. Bulldogs -17.
Trap potential, no, for Georgia.
It's a trap.
It's potentially there. 17 is not a scary number though.
Yeah, I mean it's a trap because I mean they have all next week, so
yeah, but Missouri's been really bad away from home, like awful.
Yeah.
So I'll take Georgia. 17 is not scary enough for me.
Yeah. All right. Number 5, Clemson at NC State. Clemson -31.5.
And Vegas is very savage right now.
Vegas is giving nobody any type of credit.
NC State. I mean, Florida State beat NC State by double digits, so just Clemson. That's fine. That's fine. Florida State's more logic for them. Yeah.
So this next one, does this tell you how bad they are? Okay. Number 15, Notre Dame at Duke. Notre Dame -8.
At Duke. Home field advantage.
Let's go Blue Devils.
No, Notre Dame covers. I mean, they barely beat Virginia Tech.
Yeah. But Virginia Tech's a little bit more intimidating than Duke.
I think Virginia Tech defensively is better than Duke. Yes. So
I was just going strictly on atmosphere.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame covers. Actually, that's fine.
Iowa State at number 9, Oklahoma. Oklahoma -14.
No, Oklahoma's going to roll the rest of the way. I think 14 is not scary there. Take Oklahoma. Jalen Hurts, do it.
Hashtag Jalen Friesman.
I know Bama fans know this because the reason they came back was Kyler Murray and CeeDee Lamb last year in that semifinal. He's special.
CeeDee Lamb's a man child.
Yeah, I don't know if a receiver goes higher than him in the draft. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, Wyoming at number 22, Boise State. Boise State -12.5.
Now Wyoming did beat Missouri, right?
Wyoming, I believe, did beat Missouri. Hold on, let me double check. Wyoming did beat Missouri by 6.
But Boise's Boise. That freshman quarterback, I like him a lot. I'll take Boise.
All right, so that's your top 25.
All right. I feel good about all those, obviously.
Yeah.
Except for, what was Ohio State again one more time?
41.5.
Man, that is a conference game.
That's a conference.
And y'all want conference champions?
I'm sorry.
Come
I'm
on.
sorry, 43.5. Sorry, 43.5.
Think about that. Think about some of those spreads. 30-something, 40-something. And some people want conference champions automatically in some kind of playoff. No. Best teams. That's it. Look at that spread. That's a conference game. You're getting credit for that. Best 4 teams. Don't care about the resumes. Who you're favoring over who? Do it that way.
Yeah.
Come on.
True story. So that'll wrap up the top 25, and that'll wrap up our hour and 40 minutes with you guys tonight.
100-minute show. How about that?
Off rip.
We'll see. We'll see when we're back. Maybe Saturday. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. All right, guys. Well, for Rich Kev and technology, what is it? StreamYard.
StreamYard.
Subscribe on YouTube. We're back. At a minimum, all the social channels will be more active. So if you got questions there, even if we don't have a pod, we'll get back to you. So thanks for listening. God bless. CABC crew is out.